Good afternoon. The Portsmouth Youth Development and Housing Authority Board of Commissioners meeting held on the third Thursday of each month at 5 p.m. All meetings are conducted at PRHA main office, 3116 South Street, Portsmouth, Virginia, 23787. Unless otherwise noted, all members of the public are welcome to attend. Ms. Pearson, would you please call the roll?
Yes, sir. Vice Chair Coast? Here. Commissioner Morgan? Here. Commissioner Prince?
Present.
Commissioner Whalen?
Here.
Commissioner Wicks? Commissioner Wright? Here. And Chair Williams.
Right.
We have a forum.
Commissioner, the minutes were distributed to you for the December 19th, 2025 meeting earlier. Are there any corrections or additions? I know there's one that Ms. Cross brought to my attention. Minutes say absent for those who were present.
The minutes? The only one we have is Commissioner Wicks. For absent.
The way it's shown on it says present, nobody absent. I guess the way it's on here.
The format.
The way it looks.
Okay.
Okay.
So it is shown right on your pen?
Yeah, if
Okay.
you look in your book, it should.
Okay.
But on the actual minutes, the minutes are correct.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Are there any
Move to
additional?
approve the minutes.
I'm sorry?
I said move to approve the minutes.
Second, is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Alright.
All opposed? Thank you, commissioners. The only remarks I have, I hope everybody had a great Christmas. And I hope you had an outstanding New Year. And if you had a bad 2025, I hope you have a great 2026. That's all I have. Ms. Bryant, anything from the council?
I would love to share with you all some end of the year 2025 messages that came from the city manager's office. Crime is down with violent crime down 44% across the city and overall crime down 16%. Emergency response times are up about 30% with a new billing system in place that's going to turn billing around very rapidly, which will increase revenue. Trying to think of the highlights, $333 million in investment last year through the Economic Development Authority. Plans for public input on the waterfront project are scheduled tentatively for January 28th and February 4th, which will give everyone across the city an opportunity to weigh in on what they would like to see on the waterfront project. So those exact dates and locations have not been posted yet, but if you're on social media or follow the city alerts, stay tuned because council's goal is to get as many people to feel included in the waterfront development process as possible. And then lastly, demolition for the jail and the civic center are timelined for mid-February and mid-March. So you'll start to see those projects coming down. And there's a web camera that is linked from the top of City Hall. So you may be able to sit at your desk and watch it.
Watch it fall down.
Yeah, it's gonna come down in pieces because it's dangerous, so,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's the latest and greatest.
Thank you so much. As a
Sure.
matter of fact, I may add that the information you gave us at our last meeting, I was able to distribute that to the Cavalier Mountain Civic League, and they were impressed with what the city is doing in terms of trash collection.
Yes, absolutely, yep.
You know, they feel
very
real
excited.
excited. And one gentleman stood up and says, now I don't have to worry about if I put the blue can out on the wrong day.
Absolutely. And I'll add that the numbers are something like it increases our recycling capability from 10, 15, 20% at best to like approximately 60%. So it's a huge environmental benefit.
Well done, well done. Thank you. Fine. Ms. Winston?
Okay. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Next, we're going to have a presentation by Mr. Avon Thomas. But I want you all to travel back in time to October 2024. When Jay Grant came before you all, who was with List, and they were looking to start the merge program aimed at increasing minority participation and minority contractors leveling, playing field for them to be competitive in these solicitations. So the merge program did not move forward, as of yet. List is no longer enforceable. And so, Red Academy, I think, can fulfill those same duties and, obligations that we were looking with, a merge program. The executive director for Newport News and Development and Housing Authority reached out to me in Norfolk, that they have, signed on to participate in this as well. So he's going to share a little bit about the program, Mr. Aaron Thomas. You have some questions about lists from, you may not know, but to see what a merge is, he may be able to provide some insight on that. At the end of the day, we're looking to increase minority participation and gain minority contractors. And so however we can do that, we're excited about doing that. So.
Welcome, sir.
Welcome. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Aaron Thompson. I am the executive director for Red Academy. Appreciate you guys giving me the availability of your time this evening. Thank you to Director Winston for allowing me to be able to come to present. Red Academy is a 501c3 helping emerging developers scale with a focus on affordable housing. It's an initiative that was birthed out of Amazon's Housing Equity Fund. That was across 3 markets, so Seattle, Nashville, and Arlington. I represent the Nashville affiliate that was working with them in order to create this program. Most of what we do, I'll flip through here in just a second, is based around that support system as development needs to occur. Amazon understood that as they go into a market, they understood the Amazon effect, right? They pay very good wages and people, which is a great problem to have, right? And create jobs. But what it also does is increase the property value and it makes it harder for people who were there, who helped kind of build that space in that community. It kind of pushes them out, right? And so what does it mean in order to create more affordable housing and preserve existing affordable housing? But then also on the flip side, the communities that the affordable housing is being built into, a lot of times the people developing it does not look like the community in which it's developing. So what can we do about that? And so that's where Red Academy came from. I will go. We're talking about Amazon. Yes, yeah, Amazon, big A, Amazon. So I'll skip past here. So the program, Red Academy stands for Real Estate Developers Academy. Again, we started it based around supporting those emerging developers to help them scale with the focus of affordable housing. Our initiative started in Middle Tennessee, so that's the in and around Nashville area. We started back 5 years ago, so late part of 2021 into the early part of 2022. Our mission, of course, is providing them with kind of the structure. We use 3 pillars, which is knowledge, mentorship, and capital. Right? A lot of people, when you think about emerging developers, they struggle with that consistency to be able to do, whether they're fixing and flipping, doing 1s and 2s to be able to get to that next jump. A lot of times you have to take from what you're doing on a regular basis in order to try this new endeavor, right? And we all know if the new endeavor fails, it can not only fail the new piece, but it could also wipe out your bread and butter, what you normally do. So what can we do to be more strategic about helping those individuals kind of be more well-rounded? So that being said, our program is intentional. We are an accelerator program, so it's 18 to 20 months, right? We focus on the 3 key areas of training, mentorship, and financing. Our target area are emerging real estate developers in the MSA with experience. So here would be Hampton Roads with a strong focus on the 3 markets of Norfolk, Newport News, and Portsmouth. And our program size is 10 to 15 fellows. We found that more than 15 becomes kind of clunky, and less than 10 means like we got a long way to kind of get people there. I told Director Winston, I like my job. I like doing what I do. And the only way for me to continue doing that and helping more people is to get the wins out of the cohort. So the more people we have, the better off the chance to get more wins. So I want to keep doing the work. And then the last thing is a local program manager. That's kind of our program in a nutshell there. We focus around 6 modules. modules, foundations, business, finance, law and policy, sustainability, and construction. Foundations is what it sounds like. Anytime you are leaving kind of that emerging bubble, small scale bubble to try to get to a large scale bubble, there's a lot that you are going to experience as you grow. So the last thing you want to do is get the opportunity, but not be able to be ready for that opportunity. And so that foundation piece is really kind of that structure around you, right? Getting you out of the Gmail phase, right? And getting actual, website with your name and actual company name behind it, those type of things. Structuring your business, making sure all the back office stuff is in order. The business piece really just speaks to, how you work with either housing authority, municipality, state agency, whatever it is, in order to make sure you're prepared and ready for what's coming ahead. Finance piece, of course, is about the finance part of it. Pro forma, your capital stack, your ROI, and any investors and how you kind of deal with that long term. Law and policy, of course, is about your entitlements, working with the city, leveraging anything that the city may have or the housing authority may have. Also helps you focus on who your council people are, making sure you've got community buy-in, right? And everything that you can and can't do within that community based on the plan that's ahead of you. And then sustainability and construction kind of go together. But construction is kind of self-explanatory, and that is just really focused around helping those the fellows understand how to work with the contractors that they're going to be working with, helping them understand any of the liabilities, taxes, et cetera, that kind of go along with development. And then sustainability both builds on that, but then it also thinks about the long-term sustainability of what you're doing for the community. So you're not just doing a project for this community because that's what it said, but you're also thinking about what's the terms, who does it affect, how does the community benefit from it, are there CBA involved? Do you look at partnering with a nonprofit or local community development agency so that they're all part of it? So that's the long-term growth of what a project looks like. And then this just speaks to kind of the bigger picture, the pros. I can't read that from here, so I'm gonna go off of memory. But we always think of our program as an economic development driver, right? Because a lot of the individuals most of the individuals that come through the program are all small businesses, right? And we know that small businesses tend to work with small businesses. So if I'm a small business and I got a small business bookkeeper and I have a small business attorney, right? And I now am about to jump into a $20 million project. Well, guess what that does for that bookkeeper? Guess what that does for that attorney, right? They now can go hire somebody within the community, right? And pay livable wage salaries. And so it becomes an economic driver, not just for the fellow going through the program, but for the community as a whole. It also, we think, is for creating more quality housing, right? That's kind of the output of this, but quality housing within the communities that need it the most. And the gamut project sizes run all across the gamut, whether it's single family infill to mixed use, to mixed income, to tiny homes, to motel, hotel conversions, to preservation, to deep affordable, to veteran housing, to foster housing. Like the gamut runs very wide. And so, and I know that in every community, that is an issue that all communities have to face and try to figure out how they deal with those things. And then the last thing we think is the education driver, right? Because as those small businesses continue to grow, they're also educated on how the city operates, how the housing authority operates, how council people think and move, and what the strategic plan of the city is. And so you are now educating and you are raising up new leaders within the community, right? That already exist, that are already ingrained in what the community is doing. Mm-hmm. Our cons, they're small, but I think they mean something, right? It's new to a lot of people, right? When you think about an accelerator with this level of engagement, right? Some of them now are 6, 8, 10 weeks, but this one is 20 months. So we're intentional, right? This is not it sounds good or whatever. We're investing time, energy, and resources into these individuals going through the program. So we want to see them grow. We want to see them accelerate. So it's new to a lot of people when you think about that level of commitment. The next thing is that, we need a lot of community support, right? Because we're going to be asking the housing authority to use their subject matter experts to come in and talk to how do you partner with the housing authority? How do you do work with them? We're going to ask the city, hey, how do you work with the housing and planning director to make sure that your projects are not outlined are out of line from what the community needs. We're gonna ask for subject matter experts within the greater community, for-profit developers, CDCs, churches, you know, whoever else needs to be a part of it. So it's everybody pulling in the same direction. And then the last thing, is just that, you know, we want to make sure that, this work, even though it's not easy, it is meaningful and it has a long-lasting, return on it. And so we've been pretty successful so far. We launched, like I said, in, skip it. And so because of that, over the last 5 years, we've kind of garnered, a lot of support from, subject matter experts that are out there in the community. So Baker Tilly, which is a national, accounting CPA firm, Nova Gradic, ULI, which is kind of an association that kind of help people within the land industry. PNC Banking, Lincoln Avenue, National Multifamily Housing Council, Gresham Smith, which is a national architecture and engineering firm, NAOP, which is more around commercial real estate. So those have kind of been our trusted brands to kind of work with over the last 5 years. And just some of our success stories. We've had 2 cohorts. Those cohorts have both graduated for a total of 23 graduates. And these are some of the success stories. So Park 24 is a $80 million project doing 140 units of affordable housing. Madison Station is 240 units of affordable housing. All these projects are in and around Nashville. Northview is 254 affordable housing units, senior housing. And then Barnes Bridge is 150 units of affordable housing and workforce housing in Nashville. So these are the projects that came out of the cohorts that are from Red Academy, and looking forward to, you know, that level of productivity from the fellows here in the Hampton Roads region. So this speaks to our cumulative impact, 23 graduates, 100+ professional development opportunities, 270 hours of training, and over 225 guest speakers and instructors. Yeah. This one I think is the one that kind of gets me excited because, again, when we started this journey 5 years ago, I had no vision of what this could look like 5 years from now. And so I sit here seeing 1,100 units in the pipeline in Nashville. And for those that are in development or familiar enough with development, know that when you're in a hot market, to be an emerging developer, to be able to say you are part of 1,100 units in a hot market, that is extremely tough to do. And affordable housing, of all the project types to do, is one of the toughest ones to do. So to be able to see that, that really gets me excited. 85% retention. 86% of the projects have affordable housing baked into it, and pre-development deployed over the last 2 cohorts were $7.25 million. Amazon was generous enough to put the money behind it, not just to operate the program, but also put pre-development capital also behind it too. This one just speaks to graduation rate. The individual going through the program certified as MWBE. Ability to leverage financial resources. Each fellow has a project of scale or impact within the community. And of course, in the commercial real estate field, you know, we make up less than 1%. So to see that space grow specifically in market makes a world of a difference. The last thing there is just how we can stay in contact with this. I like to say that everything we do is local. The people who go through the program are local. The instructors and the mentors are local. The dollars engaged in the program are local. The only thing that's not is our curriculum, right? Because the last thing you want is national to come tell Hampton Roads how to do housing. You guys got the experts. It's really a leverage of opportunities and resources. And when you can put those 2 together with the people already on the ground, that's how you get stuff done. So for us, that's really what we want to do. We want to just help leverage those opportunities and resources and let those individuals shine and do what they already do. So I will stop there, and I've been talking a lot, so I'll take a sip of water, and if you guys got any questions.
Commissioners, any questions for Mr. Thompson? Ms. Winston?
Well, I was gonna say, so now you see why I was excited about this program, and it's more than one way to skin your cat, right? So We may not have a merge, but we have Red Academy, right? And so the outcome will be the same for us. So if you remember back in 24, one of the things that we said we would look at, and there's no action for you all to take tonight, is some of our vacant lots that we have that's been on the tax rolls for 20, 30, 40 years or more, using those lots as incentives for those that complete this program. So it'll be the same as, from you all today. So once once the participants complete the program, then we'll have more for you all to look at and see which lots we're going to move forward with.
What does the process look like to join the program? Application, vetting, et cetera. It seems an exciting thing to be a part of.
Thank you, I appreciate it. So one of the things that, so we had a big announcement, a big launch party in August of last year with Norfolk Redevelopment Housing Authority and Newport News. We opened the portal then, had over 25 applicants submitted, closed the portal in October, and now we're in the process of reviewing those applications and vetting those individuals going through the program. And so, like I said, the class size is no more than 15, no less than 10. And so we're kind of figuring out what that needs to look like moving forward. And so that's where we're at.
Are those people who do the vetting of those local or
Yes.
are those?
Yes, so there's an advisory committee that includes people from all those areas in order to kind of help say, these make sense to kind of move forward, right? Yeah. And so there'll be an interview process of the applicants to see if they're make it into the cohort. And then after that, then we'll identify a timeline to kind of launch the program and get the first one on the road. We run a program that meets twice a month, hybrid schedule, so one in person, one virtual. And so over the 20 months, as board members, as community people, always want to invite those individuals to come and see what happens in the program, and then we'll try to create events that make sense for people to get involved and engaged in what the fellows are doing.
And you did get applicants from Portsmouth, correct?
We did, yes. So of the 25, we had a range of people, but we had people all up and down Hampton Roads, from Chesapeake, Virginia Beach, Newport News, Hampton, Portsmouth, Suffolk, and I think there were a couple that were out of market, so they kind of, so the guidelines is, of course, we want you to be a resident of Hampton Roads, right? Because it's a regional effect that we want to make sure we have happen. And so we will vet them and make sure and see, but we also want to lean heavily towards those who are already in market doing work here within the region.
Commissioners, any additional questions for Mr. Thompson? Well, Mr. Thompson, it sounds like a plus. Most programs show up, they tell you the pros, but they never tell you the cons.
Yeah.
The other thing they don't show you is it's interesting to see the pictures, see many females involved.
Yeah.
For those of us who have daughters, we are concerned about that kind of thing. Not that she's going to construction.
Yeah.
Any additional questions, Mr. Thompson? But we thank you, sir. I'm sorry.
I'd just like to say, with affordable housing being an issue nationwide, this seems like a great program, and I'm excited about it. And good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your participation.
Appreciate it. We are too. I mean, this will be our first expansion outside of the Middle Tennessee market. So we want to, I think it can travel well. I hope so,
Sure.
right? And so that's the bet that we're betting on ourselves and on this community here so you guys help us refine it. So if we take it somewhere else, right, we gotten a little bit better each time. And so by the time we make it back around to cohort 2 here, it'll be nothing but sunshine and rainbows.
Thank you, sir.
Now, I know it's gonna be great because I used to live in Tennessee.
Okay,
In the street called Sitco Drive.
okay,
I used to
yeah,
work there,
yeah, I got you.
So I know a little bit about Tennessee. Matter of fact, Jefferson Street, Joe Gillum was playing quarterback.
Oh, you were there in the good times.
In the good time.
Yeah. I got you.
We're showing our age now.
So that's all right. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. Thank you all.
Ms. Wilson?
A few items overall. Youth Biz. We're going to have an informal groundbreaking next Tuesday for the youth. It's at the property located at 605 London Street. It will be at 2 p.m. So if you can make it, please swing by. If not, I'll make sure I share the photos with you as well. We do plan to have a formal ribbon cutting once the house is complete.
What's the location?
605 London Street,
And
and that's in the old town.
Yeah, Tuesday.
Tuesday at 2 p.m.
Have you shared that with, HPC? Just,
No, I have not. I
do
can
you
do
mind
that.
if I do?
Sure. Okay. More positive feedback would be good. Okay. Training opportunities for commissioners. Ms. Sterling has included in the 2026 budget for you all, in addition to the normal, Governor's Housing Conference, the BOC Conference. So she has included in that budget one additional training for you all if you want to attend training somewhere else, okay? So just let, us know if you see something you're interested in, okay?
Can you send a list out of what trainings are available?
Sure.
But you know, just send it by email and fine. Is that all it would be? That way, they can have some idea of what's available that they can. Kind of. Thank you.
5315 High Street. The demolition started this week. The house is actually down.
She's down. I saw it
She's
today.
down. You saw it.
Yeah.
This is so wide open now. And so, there is some work that still needs to be done with the cleanup, so it will probably be within the next 7 to 10 days. They will be out of there, and then, we'll proceed with the next phase.
Outstanding.
And just to let you know, I got some, some emails from some, neighbors. Yes, they didn't think we were serious. So you might get some phone calls going, what's going on?
Okay. All right, thank you.
Yeah,
They know now.
It's not there, it's gone.
they know now. I was gonna share a 4-letter, anyway.
Okay. Twin Pines, we're still at a standstill with Twin Pines. We were looking to break ground on that project, this past November. However, it's the project-based underwriting requirements, with Virginia Housing, that has not allowed us to move forward. The Bacado, we did send a letter, to the board for Virginia Housing and, the executive director. So hopefully within the next couple of months, we'll hear something and they can tell us one way or the other. We have to move forward. Either we have to decrease the number of units or we have to look for other funding and grant opportunities. So that's what we'll be looking for in the next couple of months. I'm hoping that Virginia Housing will come around and then,
Hope so.
and let us underwrite to the project-based vouchers. Swanson Homes, the demolition contract has been executed. Yeah.
Good.
I like that idea with the webcam, Councilman Brian. We may have to look at that, the webcam, and just watch it come down. So we'll look into that. You like that idea, Mr. Thornwell? We'll look into that. So the good thing is that, I think I initially told you the demolition was gonna take about a year. We had a kickoff with the contractor on Monday, and he's saying maybe about 6 months it should be done. So we're excited about that. So
Okay.
that's great news. So that's all I have, Chief.
Okay. And any questions for Ms. Lucy? We have, 2 action items.
Yeah. Ms. Jenkins, are you doing the write-off?
Everyone. This is the write-off for the public housing. We are requesting approval to write off 8 delinquent accounts totaling $18,804. Excuse me, $18,884.91. Of this amount, $12,707 is in rent, $6,177.91 is in miscellaneous charges, which are due from former residents who have not lived in the authority's public housing for a period of at least 6 months, or who are deceased. Since January 1st, 2025, staff have collected a total of $9,407.88 for public housing development from in-house collections and set off debt. The writing off of these accounts receivables will in no way pursue our continued efforts to collect money owed to the authority.
Commissioners, any questions of Ms. Jenkins?
What is the miscellaneous?
Late fees, maintenance charges, and FF fees.
And these debts go into the HUD system.
Yes, ma'am.
My thought was
And we were sort of kind of talking about this right up. There's like crazy amounts, there's like really high amounts. And maybe we can communicate with each other as PHAs. Because sometimes those very same people are sitting over on the waiting list in Suffolk or, Chesapeake or Norfolk or wherever. And they cannot be on the list if they owe a PHA money. So maybe we can look at ways to communicate with each other internally as PHAs so we can grab that information, but it's just for a different day and conversation. But I think that'll work because some of those very same people are sitting on other lists. And it just takes a letter from us to say, hey, you have a bad debt with PRHA.
Right.
Either you go and do a repayment agreement or make good on that debt, or we will remove you from the list. So maybe it's like.
I like that idea. I like that.
We were just talking about like,
So there's currently nothing like that exists?
well, we sort of kind of do it in-house with our public housing residents. You know what I'm saying? When
But
they're,
nothing inner city?
no, there's nothing we're doing. However, we all share the same HUD database. And if the debts are put in there, we will see them. But even though you see them, we can still attack that another way and say, hey, you can stay on this list if you go pay that debt. Let's recapture some of our money because it's getting ready to look a little different for housing authorities here shortly. Yeah, so, but anyways, like I said, we can talk.
I like that idea, because oftentimes too, they get to the top of the list and then they find out that they owe this money and
Exactly.
they can't come up with $10,000, versus, we're trying to house them in the next, 7 to 10 days. And that stopped many folks. So I like that idea.
Is that a discussion that executive directors could have with each other?
Absolutely.
Work out a way to do that?
We're planning a meeting for the directors, within our area, in the Tidewater area here next month sometime.
Yep.
So
It'd be great.
your director will be bringing it back to you either way, because that's one of the things I had on my list of things to talk about.
Yeah.
So.
And we used to do that.
Sure.
In every call.
It's a great idea. Cause you're right, during the jam, they come top of the list and all of a sudden somebody says, you owe $10,000.
Right.
They'll never get it.
Right. So it
You'll be
makes to make a
surprised.
payment arrangement. and try to-
Or they get on the list
You
and get
will be
there
surprised.
before you realize that they owed the 10,000.
Right. At least they can make out a payment arrangement and start paying on it
Exactly.
before they get to that point. Right.
If you can work that out with the executive director, then your organization will know who from where is on the list.
Right.
I think an MOU would do it for us, and just how we would share that information. PHA.
Yeah. Sounds great. Any additional questions from Ms. Nix? The,
You're gonna do them separate? You're gonna do them separate?
Combined count.
they're actually two separate resolutions, so you have to do them separately. Can't put them together. So we need a motion for a resolution 2026-01.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion.
26-0001.
We have a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye. All opposed? Thank you, Ms. Jenkins.
Yeah. There's one more, write off for the assisted housing, which is the project-based developments. We are requesting approval to write off 18 delinquent accounts totaling $72,300. Of this amount, $62,245 is in rent, $10,145 is in miscellaneous charges, which are due from former residents who have not lived in the authority's assisted housing for a period of at least 6 months or who are deceased. Since January 1st, 2025, the staff has collected a total of $33,180.69 for assisted housing development from the in-house collections and set off debt claims. The writing off of these accounts receivables will in no way preclude our continued efforts to collect money owed to the authority.
Commissioners, any questions? Ms. Jenkins? With that, be the same process.
Could be, yes, sir.
Might as well do them both when y'all meet. That way, at least we have some idea of, and other jurisdictions have some idea. So everybody gets put in a jam if you don't.
I do have one question in regards to, debt. How long between the notification of the death and termination of the account, or how does that work?
Well, once we close the account out, then normally it's like in 30 days.
Within 30 days?
Any additional questions of Ms. Jenkins? This is, we need a motion for resolution 2026-02.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye. All opposed? Thank you, Ms. Jenkins. You do a great job as always. Any other departmental updates? Requested? None. At this time, we'll open the floor for public comment. Members of the public who wish to speak will be allowed 5 minutes per speaker. Please state your name for the record before beginning your remarks. Comments should be directed to the board as a whole and limited to matters within the jurisdiction of this body. As a reminder, public comment is an opportunity for the board to listen. Board members will not respond to comments by asking questions or engaging in dialogue during this portion of the meeting. Issues raised may be referred to staff or placed on the agenda for future process. Please maintain a respectful tone. Personal attacks, profane language, or comments that disrupt the orderly conduct of the meeting are not permitted. Speakers are asked to adhere to the time limit so that everyone has an opportunity to be heard. When your time is expired, you'll be asked to conclude your remarks. If you have any additional information, you'll be asked to submit written comment, which may be provided to the clerk for inclusion to the record. With that, the floor is open for public comment. It appears that this time we have none. That concludes the public comment session of our meeting. We will now go to commissioner comments. Commissioner Frank.
Welcome to 26. Glad that we're all here, hopefully sane and healthy. And I hope that 26 is much better than 27. And that we're all buckled down and ready for whatever comes at us.
27?
Or 27. Yeah. But anyway, thank you as a team. I think we've got a great team. Just keep moving forward. And thank you guys for everything you guys do. Appreciate it.
I thought we were heading downhill already.
I know.
I've got that looking glass.
Ms. Martin. Ms. Will.
None.
Ms. Martin. Ms. Carter. I mean,
See, you can't after 27.
You got it.
hey, it's always a pleasure to start the new year with great people. We have great commissioners. We have a great director. We have a great attorney. And we have great staff. Thank you for everything you do as well as you do. Thank you, Ms. Bryant, for joining us every meeting. Your information has been superb.
Absolutely.
And it's really, because you're here.
Let's simply leave it at that.
That's right.
That being the case, the meeting is now adjourned.